Today we're going to be talking about my absolute favorite type of pickups, P90s. I'm a huge P90 fan.
Most players think a P90 is basically a single coil just in a bigger footprint. They're more like a humbucker than you think. First of all, they do have less hum than a traditional single coil. Because the bobbins are so large, you can get so much wire on there that you end up getting them to sound very similar to a humbucker, but with more mid-range and high-end clarity like a single coil.
Okay, so I've switched to a Strat because I want to show you something. I think this illustrates P90s better than anything else. If a P90 is doing what it's supposed to do, in my opinion, what it's going to do is going to do everything a single coil does, but with more mids and low end frequency and bigger. So I'm going to use this Boss EQ pedal to show you. Here is a single coil Strat neck pickup running through a Fender Supersonic 22, mic'd up with an SM57. I'm using a Creamback 112 cabinet, and I'm just going to play something simple.
And now I'm going to go back and forth between not using the Boss pedal and using the Boss pedal to show you how just boosting a couple of the mid frequencies, the bass and the highs, and just a little bit of gain gives you more of a P90 sound out of a regular single coil pickup.
So like I said, a P90 is going to sound like a single coil, like a standard single coil, but bigger, fuller, and it's going to do all the things that sometimes you don't like about single coils, where you don't feel like they're cutting through or they're beefy enough. Mostly it's just they're not beefy enough. It does all of those things. It's basically a single coil on steroids. Now you still get 60 cycle hum unless you go noiseless, but if you're into single coils, you understand, you just have to learn to deal with that. So let's check out these P90s.
For the P90 demonstration part of this video, we're going to be checking out some Dylan pickups from Dylan Talks Tone. He hand wound these for us so we can check them out. I also thought it'd be fun to check out the packaging and how they come in case you're interested in buying his pickups. A couple interesting things, you get some stickers and some magnets, and I love this card here that's a scannable code that takes you to wiring schematics. Keep in mind, one of the things that sometimes people forget is that when I say these pickups are Dylan pickups, they're made by Dylan, what I call artisan. Sometimes people use the word boutique. I like the term artisan. What that means is the person whose name is on the product made that actual product. This is a nice set and reasonably priced in my opinion. And they designate on both of them what they are. This is the bridge and this one is the neck. And packaging is also important. If you look at this packaging, this is something I highly believe in as well. Notice that he's using paper, not a whole lot of plastic. He's not using a lot of wasteful packaging. And it not only keeps his cost lower to do this, but it's also better for the environment.
Okay, so we're gonna go to the bridge and start with a little bit. Actually, you know what? Let's go to the neck. Go to the neck and play actually that same riff. Here's Dylan's P90s with a Alnico 5 magnet. Okay, so what he's done already, I can tell, is he's solved a problem that P90s have. Most of the time, when they're made, I don't want to say incorrectly, but when they're made in a way that I'm not a big fan, there's just a lot of low end. And kind of like what I did with that EQ pedal. Yeah, it fattened up the Strat tone, but it gave a lot of mud, and that low end came at a cost of definition. These do not have that problem because they're pushing almost all mid frequencies. All right, I like this neck pickup so much that I'm almost scared to go to the bridge because I actually think this sounds really perfect in that pocket for me. It's like the warm frequencies, the warm sounds, the mid sounds sound really, really pleasant. Not a lot of low end, which means the bridge might be a little bright. Let's just try what happens. Wow, it's even more mids. So he's really focused on keeping you in, the mids are what I call the nasal qualities of things. And the reason I always do that in every video is because I want you to point out that when mids are right, they are musical. And when they're wrong, they sound like this instrument's got a cold. And I know that sounds silly to sound like that, but everybody's heard that. It's like, when you're EQing things, sometimes everyone's felt the frustration of, okay, the low end sounds good, the high sound good, and the mids just ruined everything. When mids do what they're supposed to do, like I said, they're musical and they're magical. And when they're not, they're just really that. So this, yeah, it's good. What I like about this is he's really left a lot of room for a boost. So I think he's rated out at about 8K, which is going to put them in that same territory, so you know, as a PAF humbucker. So think about this. These pickups are as whole, you know, kind of not exactly, but basically just as hot as a PAF. So if you have a PAF and you switch to these, you're going to have about the same push on the amp. The amp's going to be able to see the same gain response, but they're going to see more harmonics from only being one coil instead of two coils each. The other thing I want to point out on the single, or in the middle position, he's reverse wound one of them. So if you buy them in a set from him, one is going to be reverse wound, which is important because that means the middle position will not have a 60 cycle hum. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a breath there. That sounds great. Let me switch the amp to clean and see how they sound on clean. Okay, we're gonna start with the neck pickup. Here we go. Wow, yeah, it's really defined. What I'm listening for is I want to hear, yeah, I don't want it to go up in volume or in frequencies more than what the strings are doing. So I want that to be high. That's nice. Okay, middle position. Yeah, that's good. Really pulling the highs back on those upper mids right here. Okay, and the bridge. Yeah, and that's got that mid. It sounds good. I think for clean, it's all about, to me, it's this neck. I want to go to the middle position one more time because I really like that. I hope that kind of showed you not only the Dylan pickups, which is important, but also the P90s, and maybe gave you guys some considerations on maybe looking at some P90s if you haven't given it a try. Now, of course, if you're a P90 fan, I'm sure you're going to put comments down below about how you love them, because I think that's one of the things about when you discover something like this. It's one of those things you think everybody knows, and the reality is not everybody's the P90 fan they should be, in my opinion. So let me know in the comments down below if you're a fan. But if you aren't a fan, let me know if you'd actually consider P90s now. And like I said, I would definitely like you to consider Dylan, since he actually supported this video by sending these pickups out so I can make this video. But also, more importantly, you know, because he's a small builder, and you know, who else would you want to support but other than the actual people out there making things? So that's what I want us to end with today. As always, I want to thank all of you for your time, especially the ones that made it to the end of the video. It means a lot to me. Until the next time, know your gear.